It's just so funny because I just wrapped up filming the other episode where I was talking about how they had more than 1 million players concurrent, and I was getting my thumbnails out and everything, and I happened to hop on Twitter to do the promotion for that video, and then I saw this pop up in my feed. More than 6 million players have purchased and have played Starfield so far, making it Bethesda's biggest game launch ever, and they deserve it. Bethesda makes great games, folks. End of story. I think every company out there who has been around for 20 plus years has seen their company do this. Not everyone's going to have, a critical success every single time they come out of the gate. And I know with Fallout 76, they did stumble a little bit, but I think some people have had some very good things to say about the fact that that wasn't their A team, that was their B team making that game. Same thing with like, well, there was another game that came out recently, Red Dawn or Redfall or something like that on the Xbox, which I think was a Bethesda like B team type game. So I mean, Bethesda has made some hiccups along the way. They have absolutely seen successes and failures, as has any company that has been in the business for any length of time. I think once you get beyond a decade, you're due to have some downers if you've only been up all the way. But eventually, everyone has hiccups in life. That's just normal. I would single out any one person who tries to say that they've had a perfect track record and say let's actually look at that data a little bit closer and see. Um, but Bethesda has come out of the gates swinging with this, and they have had great support from Microsoft throughout the development process and through the publishing process with the marketing campaigns over the last couple of months in particular, really taking the world by storm. I didn't actually get really on board with Starfield until Starfield Direct, which happened earlier in 2023. Before that, I think if you look through my channel, I only did one Starfield video ever, and that was maybe like 2 years ago when I saw some footage and I did a video like Star Citizen Eat Your Heart Out because I saw this footage of Starfield and I was like, man, that's everything that they claim that they're building with Star Citizen's like Squadron 42 game, but it's actually coming out and it's actually going to be something that I can play in the next year or two. And obviously they're completely different games, but I thought it was a fun thing to poke at because people have some serious opinions about Starfield and yeah, and Star Citizen as well. Anyway, um, it's out. It's selling well. It's critically well received. It's commercially doing very well. The biggest game that Bethesda's ever had. And in terms of this being a win, it is absolutely a win for both Microsoft and Bethesda. This is a big moment for Bethesda to come out of the gates with something that was, a way to sort of repair the reputation damage that had happened because of the Fallout 76 launch and the Redfall issue. Um, by the way, I played both those games and I thought those games were entertaining. I wouldn't call either one of those games my favorite Bethesda games, but it's kind of like I look at Bethesda kind of like Star Wars. With Star Wars, I very much love all Star Wars, but I also, by the way, I've got a cat that's meowing down here, so I apologize. We've got Dora's still getting over her foot surgery, and so I got to keep an eye on her because she's trying to take her cone off today. She's feeling better, so she tried to escape yesterday. Anyway, like with Star Wars, I love all Star Wars. I do. I will be a Star Wars fan until they put me in the grave. Not all Star Wars is great Star Wars. Some Star Wars is better than other Star Wars, but there is no bad Star Wars. There's just Star Wars that is slightly lesser than other Star Wars. But I will always love Star Wars. Period. Same thing with Star Trek. I will always love Star Trek until the day I die. Everything that comes out, I will consume it. I don't care. I am a fan. I'm the same with Bethesda. I am a fan of their games, and I will play all of their games. I'm very happy to see Starfield getting this recognition because it's a great game, and it shows that people were hungry for a space exploration game. Something where you could sink your teeth into it and have great storylines. I think that the big thing for me is the massive skill trees is one of the things that I think a lot of people are really enjoying because you can really go crazy with creating the ultimate build, and there's no level caps. You could just keep going and going and going and going until you've maxed everything out. And I know some people have already rushed their way through the main storyline to get to the new game plus because they want for story reasons to be there. I'm not one of those people. I'm looking at probably a 300 hour. I said the other day that I thought it was going to be a 200 plus, and I think it's going to be more like a 300 hour first time playthrough. I'm not expecting to beat this anytime soon. I'm about 40 hours in since the game launched. I started with early access on the Series X, and I've played it exclusively in live streams and such. And then we're going to be playing this intermixed with Baldur's Gate 3 for the next few months, and then of course until we got Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty dropping at the end of the month. So there's going to be a blending of all those three on my channel in particular, which nudge nudge wink wink, perfect time to say like, subscribe, hit the bell icon if you want more of that stuff. If you want to see the streams happen daily at 11 a.m. Um, the big thing here is that there's so much going on in Starfield. It's not just a Bethesda game. It's not just Oblivion or Fallout or Skyrim in space. It's also got the space flight, and it's got the first person combat, the FPS stuff. It's got outpost building. It's got weapon customization and the crafting system, which can be a little overwhelming in how complex it is, but it's so good. I mean, especially the first time you go down. I've got a video of it here on my channel. The first time I went down into the Constellation basement, and and I was looking at all the crafting stations, trying to figure out how to make a weapon mod to put a suppressor on my gun, and I was like, well, wait a second, I need to do this, this, and this to be able to even do the weapon mod. I got to go to the research station. I need this, this, and this. And oh, I also need the skills. So then I go over into my skill tree and I look at that, and it's the second tier skill to get weapon specializations. So now I'm like, oh, now I got to take a bunch of first tier science skills to get to the second tier to even be able to get to the weapon mod specializations in the first place. And I'm looking at this going, oh my god, this is amazing. And then also needing like higher levels of piloting to be able to pilot higher level ships, the higher tiers of ships. Like there's just a serious sense of progression here where there's always something to do. In my 40 hours, I've Quick really commercial break, everyone, to give a shout out to our first official guild officer, Babylonia, as well as all of the guild champions, and of course, all of the members who help keep me on the air full time. To join as a member, simply click that join button below and pick your tier, but you can also support with super chats on any live stream or premiere, or super thanks on any upload or YouTube short. Don't forget the Discord. Let's get back to the video. I've really not done any of the quests. I've done no faction quests, no main storylines. The only thing I've done is like activities, pirate hunting, running around and exploring planets. I've put 10 hours just into like surveying my first planet, and I still haven't finished. I'm like 70%. I got a long way to go before I can finish surveying that planet. And that's just one of many, 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 many activities that you could do in this game. It's like every time I take my ship out, I find new things to do, new conversations. I found there's a ship out there, not to spoil anything. I think it was called Grandmother's Ship or just a grandmother. I found a little old grandma who was out in space in her own little ship, and she had cookies and cake and everything else on her ship, and basically she was flying around. Her husband had passed, and she was just spending her retirement years exploring space. And I was like, how cool would that to be, a little old grandma with your, you got a little robot servant and your own little ship, and you just fly around and see cool stuff until you're done. So it's those kind of things that are making this game really unique for me, because there's so much to do and so much to see, and over 6 million people agree. So I think that's a pretty awesome number. So congratulations, Bethesda. Also congratulations, Xbox, for the support and everything that's happening with the Series X. I'm happy to see this game being successful for so many people, and I'm happy seeing so many people enjoy this game because it really is a lot of fun. Love to hear your thoughts. Drop them down below. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. Daily streams at 11 a.m. There is a Discord. Check it down below. And, of course, check out all the other playlists because we do way more than just Starfield. Until next time, everybody, stay safe and happy gaming.